بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أصحاب السعادة، ضيوفنا الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلاً ومرحباً بكم في الهيئة السعودية للمواصفات والمقاييس والجودة بمناسبة انعقاد ورشة عمل آلية التسجيل للمنتجات المكيفات ذات السعة الكبيرة التي تنظمها الهيئة بالتعاون مع المركز السعودي لكفاءة الطاقة اليوم الأربعاء 21 شعبان 1438 هجري الموافق 17 مايو 2017 ميلادي. تهدف هذه الورشة إلى استعراض كافة المعلومات المتعلقة باللائحة الفنية رقم ساسو 2874 على 2016 وآلية التسجيل وإجراءات الحصول على بطاقة كفاءة استهلاك الطاقة لمنتجات التكييف ذات السعة الكبيرة. الآن يستعرض المهندس محمد العروان وفريق المباني في البرنامج السعودي لكفاءة الطاقة أبرز المعلومات المتعلقة باللائحة مكيفات الهواء، الحد الأدنى لمتطلبات أداء الطاقة ومتطلبات الاختبار.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome all, and today we will talk about the registration process workshop for large capacity air conditioners. Allow me first to talk about the Saudi Energy Efficiency Program and the Saudi Energy Efficiency Center. The Saudi Energy Efficiency Center was established in 2010 as the custodian of demand-side energy efficiencies in Saudi Arabia. And it is a temporary institutional setup under King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology. Saudi Energy Efficiency has a board of directors, and it is chaired by the president of King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology. SEEK's mission is to improve Saudi Arabia energy efficiency and coordinate all related activities between stakeholders. And the key objective is to develop energy efficiency program, propose energy efficiency policies and regulation, and monitor their implementation. And also to promote awareness and participate in the implementation pilots. Now we will talk about the Saudi Energy Efficiency Program. It has been based on the same guiding principle and framework since its inception. There are four guiding principles of SEEP. The first one is purely focused on demand-side management. The second one is program design. Does not include price reform. All initiatives are designed based on end-user impact. For example, payback period. And the fourth principle is energy efficiency initiatives based on consensus with government and private sector stakeholders. SEEP framework is organized around three sectors: building, transport, and industry, and which consumes more than 90% of Saudi Arabia primary energy consumption. So the three sectors, whether it is new or existing, from building to transport industry, SEEP objective is to improve Saudi Arabia energy efficiency using bottom-up designed initiatives and their enablers. The second one is involve all stakeholders, whether it is businesses, governments, and public. So let us talk about Saudi Arabia. As I mentioned, the primary energy for the three sectors consume more than 90%. Building represent approximately 30% of the primary energy consumed, and more than 80% for electricity consumption on buildings only. And 1/3 of cooling goes to large ACs. Building steam initiatives, they started from 2012, developing initiatives. So the first one was small capacity air conditioners, and the objective of this standard is to improve energy efficiency of small air conditioners and raise awareness on buying efficient products. It was issued in September 2013 and enforced in January 2014. Our main topic today is large capacity air conditioners. The objective is to improve energy efficiency of large air conditioners. It was issued in the fourth quarter of 2016 and will be enforced in the third quarter of 2017. We will talk more about in the next slides. The third initiative is thermal insulation, which is update thermal insulation product standards and develop thermal insulation regulation for new buildings and develop customized enforcement mechanism. And it was issued in May 2014 and enforced in November 2014. And there is electrical appliances, refrigerators, freezers, and washing machines. And the objective is to improve energy efficiency also. The progress was issued in December 2013 and enforced in January 2015. Last thing is lighting. And the objective also is to develop energy efficiency standards for lighting products and accelerate retirement of inefficient products. It was issued in June 2015 and enforced in May 2016. Now we will go to the main topic of today's workshop, large AC standard history. So during 2014, building technical team started to develop an energy efficiency standard for large capacity air conditioners. And the building team, in collaboration with government, all relevant public and private stakeholders, conducted several meetings, workshops, feedback sessions, and analysis in order to achieve a high degree of consensus around product scope and testing methods and minimum energy performance standards. Now we will take a look about the timeline of this initiative. So we started in Q1 2014. It was the kickoff and the initial proposal on large HVAC product categorization and the decision on for scope and testing methodologies. In Q2, temperature analysis conducted for more informed decision on testing methodologies and finalizing of testing methodologies and initial MEPS proposals. Q3, in the third quarter of 2014, there was a preliminary decision on MEPS values and proposed TIC process, update on MEPS and TIC process. In the fourth quarter of 2014, the standard draft was finalized, and on the following year, 2015, the first quarter, the standard was finalized with the team and proposed control process. On the second quarter of 2015, building team received the approval of the proposed draft from program leadership. And in the fourth quarter of 2015, proposal was circulated to WTO for comments and feedback. So if you remember, some of you were here in the first quarter last year, 2016, we held a workshop of the large AC to explain about the standard. We received some comments, WTO, we received some comments and feedback, so we revised with the building team and the collaboration of the private stakeholders. Then the revised standard was resent to WTO for comments and feedback in the third quarter of 2016. In the fourth quarter of 2016, we received the approval of the standard by SASO board. And in the first quarter of 2017, actually in March, publication of the standard in the official gazette, Al Qura, and it was registered as SASO 2874. This is the document that showed the issuance of the standard in December 2016 and published in the official gazette in March 2017. Developing the large AC standard was, consisted of a team of more than 60 representatives from major AC manufacturers, importers, and distributors and retailers, private labs, developed the standard for the large AC. So we agreed on a specific product scope, testing methods, maps, and enforcement dates. So the product scope was 6 main product categories fall within the product of scope. Electrically operated air conditioners, condensing units, chillers, absorption chiller, and electrically operated variable refrigerant flow air conditioners, closed control air conditioners, and condensing units serving computer rooms. The testing methods, so after extensive discussion, the technical team decided to adopt AHRI and ISO testing standards for all above categories, actually except closed control air conditioners, which adopt only AHRI testing standards. So SASO approved the final decision on testing standards. And about the MIPS and enforcement date and minimum MIPS were also agreed by all participants and then validated by SEEP leadership. The proposed date of enforcement is September 2017. My colleagues will talk more about the enforcement. So I think we will have a break. And after that, we will go to registration process. Right? Or after? No? Okay, I think Mr. Muhammad Yasser will talk about the registration process, and he will give you a demo about the registration on the SLS system. And sorry, the questions, there will be a session for question and answer after all presentations. Oh.
لا ما يحتاج خلاص.
First we need to decide this. Should I start? Assalamu alaikum. Morning, Muhammad Yasir. I will give you a demo. Start now. I will give you a.
It's okay, brother.
Take it. Registration for the large AC. It consists of three parts. As you can see in this slide, the section 3A, section 3B, and section 3C, which I will show you in the registration process. Here, as you can see that AHRI certified, this is section A, and if it is yes, if it's the product is AHRI certified, then you can go through the section 3A. Then after that, if it is no, test report correspondence to test model, then you would go to section 3B, and after that, if it is special design or performance is derived from a reference tested model, then it will go for the section 3C. In the explanation about this one, section 3A, 3B, 3C, I will give you in the registration process. Can you please there now?
We go through the demo process now to register the one of the manufacturer. We've got in both paths that are available in the system. Just waiting for the guys to.
Like is the registration?
That's okay. Take care of it.
Maybe I could use that.
It's easy. The website, actually, the system available now in the test server, so it can be accessed from internal network. The registration process will go through it. The first step is to enter the data, the manufacturing details, the manufacturing contact details, and then we'll go through it. Yasser will explain the fields one by one. So we'll start with the first one, system manufacturing contact details. We'll add the details and we'll explain each field what it has. Just keep it close to you.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Should I start now? Okay. First, we are going to registration now. First, we have system manufacturer contact details. This actually manufacturer details. As you can see here, name of manufacturer company as appears in the certificate. This field, whatever you will write the manufacturer name here, this will appear in the certificate, which will be generated after the approval from SASO. For example, if I write manufacturer, email, at saso.sa. It has to be the email format. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Manufacturer fax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. URL. Actually, this static means this is the these fields are mandatory, and without static, it's an optional thing. We have multiple designations here: electrically operated air conditioners, and condensing units, and chillers, VRF, absorption chillers, and computer and data processing, and also we. Again? Sorry?
It's a manufacturer.
URL?
Some of them manufacturer has a URL, has a website, so they have to enter it here. Yeah, it's an option and not mandatory.
It's an option because there is I think you can see that there is no star here, so it's not mandatory. Again? Address? This
Let's complete
Actually,
the registration
let's-
demo, and then if you have any
we will
questions.
go to in the end for the questions, inshallah. Okay, so I'm selecting VRF air cooled. It's VRF brand name. These are the demo brand names here. Once we will start the registration, this will be empty, and you have to add the brand here. If brand name does not exist here, you can add it from here. For example, brand name of the URL. Dot A. Model number. See, it's not working. Actually, we can add multiple indoor units here. It's up to 120. You can add it here. And you can also delete any of them if any is, you don't need any other thing. Country of manufacturing. Replace existing date, first manufacturing or first entry in KSA, voltage. You can also define in voltage range and voltage. Voltage is here, for example, 240. Voltage range, you can see from and to. So we are giving here voltage. We have a list of refrigerant types. Reversible, heating with electrical resistance, and others are optional things. Oops. Brand name already exists.
The system will validate each of these fields if it's already added or the value is not correct. The system will validate, and they will give you the exact error, so the user have to change the tags based on the error message.
Okay, we are going to next. These are the rated values. Captions are there. If you can see, corresponds to T1 conditions for air-cooled air conditioners. We are going to put values here. 35 centigrade. 35 cooling capacity. 13400. That's power 11.25 kilowatt. You can also give them in kilowatt and tons, TR. 11.9. EER or NSENS scope depends on type of AC. Capacity 111. Power 9.2. EER for T3 conditions, 9.8. Operability at 52 centigrade. By default, it is yes. Cooling capacity. Yeah. 11.2. ARI certified.
Here from this question, we'll decide which path the user will go. The system will decide. So we'll have a question here of you ARI certified. If it's yes, we'll direct you to path A. If it's no, if you click no, yes, sir. We'll get to another question, which is tested reported, yes or no. If it's yes, we'll direct you to path B. If it's no, it will direct you to path C. So we'll go through ARI, and then we'll see the end of the process. So click yes.
Certified products. Next. We are here in section 3A. Here you have to provide AHRI certified reference number, which is, of course, you got that from that AHRI certificate. In the top of that, you got that number. Date of reference number.
All of these details has to be matched with AHRI certificate, where all the system will validate the inputs.
Standard used for reference. System model number, as we have already defined in designation tab. So we have to now T1 condition corresponds to, these are belongs to tested values. Centigrade, cooling capacity is 134,000. Power is 11.25, and EER is 11.9. Oops. 11.9. Same goes for T3 conditions. 46. 111,000. 11.2 and 9.8. Power is 11.2 and 9.8. Operability at 52 centigrade, also present in the tested values. It's declared. Cooling capacity, power 11.2. Now these are the optional. Let's see. It's passed. So now it is. We are in the attachment.
The attachment here you have either two options to attach, or two requirements to attach the AHRI certificate, or can you click the certificate experience? No, they're both. Yes. Yeah, this one. Yeah, here you have to select which year, how many years do you need for certificates, and you make a payment for each of these years. It's the optional. If it's selectable here, you can select whatever you want and then proceed. So, okay, that's it. نمشي على بث PUC ولا؟ Let's go to path B. We'll go through path B now. This one was the section A. We'll go to section B, which is not AHRI certified.
We are here in the section 3B. As this test laboratory location, you have to select the first location and a country, and according to that country you will get your laboratory list. Of course, you can add it from here, and you can also find the existing information from there. Actually, we have to go to for section 3B with the new registration. Again, we need to select the designation. Brand name, model number, 66, country of manufacturing, voltage, 220, refrigerant type. Next.
It's already saved, right? It's already saved.
No, it's not saved. This one is different because it is
Oh, okay.
35, cooling capacity 85,000, power 7.5, 11.3, EER. Again, T3 conditions 46, cooling capacity 7.4, power
9.7.
9.7. Operability, cooling capacity 2,000, power is 9.7.
So still it's
Now we are going to path B. Okay, here you can add the new laboratory. If you cannot find it here, to click on this plus button. It's date of test report, and it is accepting 5 years, less than 5 years, not more than 5 years. For example, this one, test standard used, model number, voltage, its existing values, which is coming from the previous tabs. We have corresponds to T1 conditions for air-cooled and air conditioners, which is, these are the tested values. Power 0.7, that is 11.3. Same goes for T3 conditions for air cooled. Leave it. Okay. Here is declared operability at 52 centigrade, cooling capacity 84500, 84500, 9.7 power. Next. Sorry. Okay. So we are actually comparing rated and tested values with the formula of multiply by 0.95. We cannot exceed more than that. It's 7.4 here.
So and then the end of the process, the attachment. This of the list of the attachment, test report, document others, brand logo, name, plate, and model image. All has to be attached to the system. The team will review it and then will go forward. And also the payment for the certificate. Then submit, and the process will be end from the user and goes to SASO system to get the certificate. Okay.
So now we are going to section 3C.
It's the same, right?
It's pretty same. Should we go
So I think it's
same or
both
not?
C and section B and C, it's pretty same. It depends about the second question, if it's yes or no, it will be
You want to
directly.
go for section 3C? You want to go for section 3C? It's the same as 3B.
Let's go. 3C.
Okay.
You have to register a new one.
Okay. It's okay, fine.
So if you select now, it will redirect you to section 3C for the last question.
Same. Laboratories first. Same. Here you can select the laboratory, and if laboratories does not exist here, you can add the new one. Date of test report, model number, test or reference. Model number, others if relevant, compressor, other, so other, these are optional, and model number, submitted AC model. 3C part 3, identification of the software used for predicting performance claimed in part 2, name of and reference version of the software, type of document, calculate sheet or other than complete. 3C part 4, tested values from reference model corresponding to T1 condition. So here we have to fill. Cooling capacity 82,000, power 7.4, let's go 11.9.7. EER.
You're selecting from different.
Sorry,
You're selecting from different color. Excel.
different colors?
Yeah, different color. In Excel. Go ahead.
It's okay, no problem. Okay. 3C part 4, tested values.
It's not the good set of the data for the Excel sheet. You should go on the right, the far right.
Okay.
No, this is correct, right?
No, actually, there are some conditions between rated and tested values. So we have to check the first values in rated, and then we goes for tested values in section 3C. Now, first I need to add the rated values.
Yes, but where are we? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just some word for the past 3C. 3C, you are, the basis for the 3C is for special models or models that are derived for a reference. The principle is to have the same level of evidence and the same level of information for the reference models that have been used which will be supported by evidence or test report. And from this, you have all information that have been used to derive the basic result from the reference model to the models that you submitted.
Okay. Temperature of the external source, cooling capacity, power, 6.3. 11.4 EER, T3 conditions, 46 and 56,000, 58,000, and power is 6.2, and EER is 9.3. No, we are going to next, section 3C now. As we have already selected test laboratory location, laboratory, date of test report, model number, test reference. As I already explained, 3C Part 2 identification of changes compared to the reference model. And here 3C Part 3 identification of the software used for predicting performances claimed in Part 2. Here we have 3C Part 4 tested values from reference model corresponding to T1 condition. Here we are going to add values. Okay, it's 35. Cooling capacity is 4.5 kilowatt. Power 1.35. ER is 11.3. 3C Part 4 tested values from reference model corresponding to T1 condition. Now these are T3 conditions. 46. Cooling capacity is 3. 1.1 kilowatt. 1.1. EER or Ensign score is 9.3. 3. Now here it's 3C Part 5 values adopted to submitted model corresponding to T1 condition. It's 35. 73. 73,000 cooling capacity in BTU. Power 6.35. 6.35. EER is 11.5. Model number tested. XX score 1. 3C Part 5 values adopted to submitted model corresponding to T3 conditions. These are the three values: 56, 57,000. Power is 6.2 and ER is 9.2. She's declared. 3C Part 5 check of operability for the submitted model. Cooling capacity 57,000. Power 6.2. Here we go to the attachment successfully.
So this is the end of the process for registration. Now I'll leave it for a team to continue this presentation. What do you have done?
After submission, this one, you will get an invoice with the amount, whatever SASO have decided. And after payment, automatically your application would go to the engineers to study and review. After engineer review, it will go to manager's approval. Manager will study that application, and if it is approved, it will go to general manager. General manager will also study that application and then approval. After approval, you will get an email with that certificate, and also you can download from your dashboard that certificate. Here is your dashboard. You can see the invoices here. You can download the invoices. You can also get the emails from the invoices and certificates, and you can also download your certificates or invoices from here. Thank you.
So we'll take a break now and we'll get back in 10 minutes, 120. 10 minutes. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll come back in 10 minutes, inshallah. Thank you. Easy, huh? Yeah. This one was terrible. No, no.
بسم الله.
اوكي خلاص. SASU to registration process. Yes. You will explain? Okay, okay.
والحضور.
Not working.
الإخوة الحضور، نرحب بكم مجددا ويسرنا أن نعرض لكم أبرز المعلومات المتعلقة بنظام التسجيل للمنتجات المكيفات ذات السعة الكبيرة، ويقدمها كل من الأستاذ محمد ياسر نعيم من الإدارة العامة لتقنية المعلومات، والأستاذ إبراهيم الجباري من إدارة بطاقات الكفاءة، والأستاذ عبد المجيد العبد الكريم من فريق الفحص والمراقبة والشهادات.
Actually, we need to tell you about the registration process from where you can begin the registration. It is saso.gov.sa. When you will visit this website, you can find the link for the registration. Ibrahim, could you please show us that there is a link in e-services, saso.gov.sa. Barnamaj. Okay. Okay. E-services and consideration of energy efficiency products. Yes, this is for registration window for a new user. Here you can register as an applicant, as a manufacturer. After that registration, you will get an email with that username and password. Then you will be automatically redirected to sls.gov.sa, where you can put your username and password. After successfully logged in, you can get electronic services and start registration process for. And also, you can add the registration window for a new lab. I mean, you can add the new labs from here as well, and also you can add the new lab from the SLS website. Access to the registration system. It's a direct login. If you already have a username and password, you can go through direct this link. Access to the registration system. Here, you will put your username and password. For example, applicant 1, sign in, and you will get all your electronic devices, electrical devices. You can see air conditioners, refrigerator, freezer, washing machine, electric motors and lights. So large AC should be there today. You can register your large AC registration. And all the same process will go through as we have already discussed before. Okay, thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good morning. I will present in Arabic. You can wear headphone as to listen to translation. سوف أعرض سعادتكم تقارير مدة صلاحية تقارير اختبار، وكذلك ترخيص كفاءة الطاقة، وكذلك عن تكاليف التسجيل. فيما يخص صلاحية تقارير الاختبار وترخيص كفاءة الطاقة والمنتجات والمكيفات ذات السعة الكبيرة، وقد تم عقد اجتماع مع فريق مصغر من المصنعين وأخذ الآراء والمبررات ورفع الإدارة العليا بالهيئة، وتمت الموافقة على أن يكون مدة صلاحية التقرير 5 سنوات لجميع المنتجات. أما ترخيص كفاءة الطاقة فتمت الموافقة على إعطاء مقدم الطلب اختيار مدة انتهاء الترخيص بحيث يكون أقل مدة سنة وأعلاها 5 سنوات، ما عدا منتج electrically operated air condition الأقل من 65,000 وحدة حرارية بريطانية، فيكون مدة انتهاء الترخيص سنة. أما ما يخص بالتكاليف فقد اعتمدت الإدارة العليا عند تقديم الطلب 500 ريال، وعند دراسة الطلب 5000 ريال، وإصدار الترخيص 500 ريال عن كل سنة، ومستثنى من الإلكتريكلي أوبريتد إير كونديشن يتم التجديد سنويا، وتم عرضه في نهاية الاتاتشمنت من مبرمج ياسر فيه الاختيار سيرتيفيكيت اكسبايرد، فيختار سنة أو سنتين أو 3 على حسب اختيار مقدم الطلب. شكرا.
Good morning. My name is Abdulmajid Abdelkarim, Testing and Inspection Certification Team. In my presentation, I will be presenting the designed on the main TIC main stages. We will go through every initiative in the stages, and then we will end up presenting the TIC enforcement timeline. The overall testing, inspection, and certification strategy is designed on 3 main stages, starting by the pre-enforcement, where include the stop accepting all certificate of conformity to 3 months period to implementation date, and then we accept the certificate of conformity, the COC, based on the new standard, and then we start register the product in SASU as my colleagues presented this earlier, by the day of next Sunday, 21st of May 2017. The next stage is enforcement at border, production line, and market, where we review registration data and before visual inspection and draw samples. The third stage in market, it's market surveillance, when we purchase random samples and test sample to analyze current market performance, and there will not be a market surveillance for large AC as of now. Testing, inspection, certification, enforcement timeline is actually a continuous timeline for building team, where it started in Q1 2014 with the involvement of around 60 representatives from major AC manufacturers, importers, distributors, and retailers, where they participate in the standard of large capacity air conditioner. And in addition, a workshop titled Energy Efficiency Standard for Large Capacity AC was held last year in January 20th, 2016, here in SASU. This actually would made a general indication to everyone that the enforcement is coming. So by starting of Q1 2017, we have published the standard in the official Gazette in March, and then we developed the SASU registration SLS systems by the 30th of April 2017. The workshop as of today, starting point to register AC product from 21st of May, and then the enforcement for COC will be in September 2017, as no COC issuance for non-registered product. That will be in September 2017. Enforcement at custom border from November will be from November 2017. There is a final point I would like to mention, as my colleagues assist on mentioning the accredited laboratory. Accredited labs is any lab has an ISO 17025 certificate from accredited entity that has a full membership in ILAC in reference standard. SASO then will check the accreditation certificate through ILAC website. Thank you very much. I believe now we will have the question.
الإخوة الكرام، الآن نفتح الباب للمناقشات والمداخلات واستطلاع برئياتكم حول ما تضمنته الورشة من معلومات. أدعو الزملاء للحضور.
Good morning, everybody. Maybe before we start this panel session, I think James Water from HRI would like to give a small speech about cooperation between SASO and HRI. Please, welcome, James.
Good. Thank you very much. Well, it's a great pleasure to be here. This is a very important event for the industry. It's a very important event for SASO and the Saudi government. It's a very important event for HRI. HRI, whose members are from around the world and produce about 70% of the world's heating and cooling equipment, is privileged for the past 2.5 years to work with the Saudi government, with SEEP, with our colleagues at SASO, to develop a system for large commercial air conditioners. I think the most important point to HRI and its members and its certification participants is that HRI and its members and SEEP and SASO believe in the same thing: good energy efficiency. In order to have good energy efficiency, one has to not only be able to say one does, one must be able to prove it. And AHRI has been very pleased to work with SASO to develop a system that allows the proof provided by the HRI certification program to be used for Path A of the program that we're talking about today. So I think that is sufficient. Again, I thank everyone, and especially SASO, Saudi Arabian government, SEEP, for their help and cooperation. We continue our interest in working with the industry, with the public, and with the government as we refine this system. We're just beginning it, and there will be some things along the way I suspect we will need to fix. And for those behind me, excuse me for not turning full around. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much. So please now your turn to have the questions. So please, when you start saying your name and company and deliver your question. So everything is clear? Okay.
السلام عليكم. لؤي العنيزي من التزام المكيفات. أولا إخوان شكرا على الدعوة وعلى البرزنتيشن. عندي أنا couple of questions. I have a couple of questions that I want to verify since Mr. Water was talking about the collaboration between HRI and SASO. In regards to the MIPS minimum and the HR certification. Now, HR certifications allows plus or minus 5% in terms of the efficiency, and the MIPS requires the minimum. We would like to have an elaboration on this, please. And the other question is that once a request been submitted and the certificate submitted, how long it will take to get to have the certificate issued by SASO? Thank you. And I hope if the question is clear or not.
Okay, for MIPS, as we agreed before, the MIPS is the minimum energy requirement, and there is no tolerance on MIPS from our side. I don't know about if James, please elaborate on what he said about the tolerance in your system. Please.
Well, the equipment has to meet the minimum MEPS, of course. The 5% that you're talking about is a tolerance that is built into the testing process, and so that is accounted for as the rating is developed. So when the final rating is given through our program, that rating itself is not plus or minus 5%. 5% is in the tolerance for the testing, because all testing has to have a certain tolerance to allow for the typical things that happen in the laboratory. So it's not rating plus minus 5%. It's testing, tolerance, final rating. So if your SEER is 15 by our standard, then your SEER is 15, your minimum.
خصوص التسجيل تقريبا يعني الحصول على الشهادة خلال 10 أيام عمل. 10 أيام عمل.
Michelle, you have a question.
Thank you for the presentation. Michel Farah from Daikin. And my question is regarding the implementation. It was mentioned November 17 as implementation by customs. How about stock that could be already in the kingdom, in the warehouses? What is the indication on compliance of units that are in stock that could be ordered for? Okay, I repeat my question. The question is about the units that are in stock in the kingdom after November 17. What is the indication on compliance for these units? You said there's no market surveillance for the moment for the large AC. So does that mean until the depletion of the stock without a limitation of time from your side? Or do you have any other indications?
In the regular enforcement procedure that we enforce the standard, we are planning to enforce the standard by November 2017 from the customs. As we mentioned earlier, that there is no market surveillance for large AC, but we still have the possibility to draw samples through borders and protection lines inside the kingdom. Is this answer your question?
Well, no, my question is there a time allowed for selling old stock that might not be compliant even to the minimum regulation here?
The verification.
Yeah,
by
like if
customs.
the stock is in the kingdom in December, for example, is there a time limit?
Yeah, this is what we call it exemptions, or we actually going to deal directly with the legal team, technical team, with the legal team to invent the session, which is we can give an exemptions for the any product registered or entered the Saudi Arabia before the general announcement in the General Gatizi by March 2017. So any product entered the kingdom before March 2016, they will have to go through a process of the exemptions by the technical team in Saudi Energy Efficiency Program and the Department of Registration in SASU, along with the legal team, in order to come up with the solutions that can suit the manufacturer or importer.
So there is no ban of sales of the units, right? You're not banning the sale of non-compliant. Because the reason I'm asking that is for the small AC, the same has been announced 2 years ago, but then a ban of sales was also announced.
No, Michelle, there is difference, big difference between small AC and large AC. Large AC usually it is project driven. It's not available as such in market. It's available maybe in a small scale for maybe ceiling products and so on. So small AC, yes, there is a market surveillance. Large AC, there is no. But if there is, by the way, what Abdul Majid talked about is the any products purchased or there is a project before the official gazette. It's not entering the market. So any projects or agreement or something before the official gazette, it will be treated separately through legal and technical evaluation. Then it will be announced to the applicant what is the situation, whether it's allowed, not allowed, whatever. But this for the large AC. For the market surveillance, there is no market surveillance at all.
Thank you.
السلام عليكم. عون نظام الترين. There is no MIPS for at 52 degrees. And there is no MIPS in the standards at 52 degrees. And during the meetings, we agreed that at 52, the unit only can operate. But in the registration process, you put as mandatory to fill the data for at 52. So is it required to test the unit at 52 and fill the data during the registration at 52 degrees?
Operability test at 52 degrees, it's already mandatory to fill, but you don't have to test it because you have two options, whether it is tested or declared. So you have to provide evidence or technical calculations on how you got the capacity and the power for the operability 52.
I mean, the unit to operate at 52, but not to show the performance at 52.
There is not MIPS on that. You just provide the data, information about operatory at 52.
And does it have to be tested or can be like
Can
from selection or from
either declared or tested? You have the choice whether it's tested, real test, or declared by proof calculation or whatever, any method, but only an informative value.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Here, the guy here, second row, السطر الثاني. ورا جيمس ورا جيمس. هنا خلف جيمس خلف جيمس يا اخوي. No, please, 1 minute. This guy first. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sahar Hilal from Samsung. We are really happy to join this event because we are in the R&D all the time and we need to improve our products as well as all the others definitely. But what I want to tell specifically about this product, that it's related to projects which could be running for years. And we have already some projects where we have delivered like 50% of the quantity, and the remaining 50% is going to be delivered over 2018, up to the end of 2018. So what do you suggest us? Shall we just bring the stock and keep it in the stores here, or there is some exemptions, or there is some, shall we show you some contracts from our side about what we have already? This is number one, actually. And number two is a little bit technical, because now we understand that the units are going to be tested as individuals, the indoors alone and outdoors alone. I'm talking about the VRF system specifically. So we will not be testing the whole system, right? It's only the certification for indoor model number and outdoor model number. Did I understand it correctly?
For the second question, the registration is based on the outdoor unit.
Outdoor unit only?
Outdoor unit. Then you list as supplementary information all the indoor units that could be attached to. And the certificates that will be issued by SASO at the end of the process will be based on the first line on the outdoor model. Then you will have the information will be attached to any indoor model you have submitted.
Okay, so it's
whatever the tests have been only tested with 1 or 2 indoor units that are inside the list you are providing.
Okay, so there should be at least 1 or 2 indoor units to be tested along with that outdoor unit.
Yes, basically, if you have 1 outdoor unit, it's not a standalone product. You at least 1 reference of indoor units that is attached to.
There is no tests for combination of the outdoor units.
The tests are based on the ISO or the ARI certificate, and the tests are whatever the type of indoor units are used. It's based on the ESP, the pressure, so it's up to the testing laboratory to make the choice and to adapt the facility with the indoor units you have submitted or that have been used for the test.
Okay.
Okay.
That answers my second question, actually, the first one still.
Answering your first question regarding the exemptions and the project basis, as you know that the large AC is a project basis, so it may take 3 to 5 years in constructions. I will take you a little bit to our history with the sub-team committee. The members are chosen from the manufacturers, importers, and retailers to work with us in implementing and in finalizing the standard itself. And we have given them the opportunity to send us a justification through the suggested test report and SASO registration certificate. And we have received around 6 or 7 comments from the manufacturer regarding that. We finalized their view, and we have raised this to high management in SASO, and the high management in SASO approved their ideas or their justification on saying that the test report should be for 5 years for all kind of AC based on the project basis of large AC. It's not as similar as small AC. For the SASO registration certificate, the only exception is for the electrically operated air conditioners, which is below 65, in order not to conflict with the small AC standard. This is the only kind or type of the AC are accepted from the rest. Yes, we do have an exemptions. Throughout, if your question was saying that, is it better if you order all product before?
as we said before, if the project started before the official gazette, you should submit your evidence that the project started before that, or purchased, or whatever, and this will be legally and technically evaluated, and we will respond on that.
With the legal team.
Yeah, it's
with
not,
the legal.
it's case by case. It's not nothing general, but you should submit your evidence, your technical evidence, legal evidence, whatever. Then it will be evaluated, and we come back to you. What is the next step for your certain project at that time?
It's still your choice if you want to order the product and you store them for your construction.
So please, next question.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm Sachin from REAM. I have a question related to the Path A, which is related to AHRI certification for the registration. So we have most of our products already AHRI certified, but in US. And we sell the same products in Kingdom under different model name because the voltage is different. But the product performance is same. So how do we accommodate these products under Path A?
James, any comment?
So you have certified products of certain models, they have certain numbers, and then you sell in the kingdom the same models with different numbers.
Correct.
Well, we cannot verify that. If we're going to verify the models, we have to have the correct numbers. So I think you need to communicate with AHRI and make sure they have the model numbers.
Okay, so AHRI can add this into existing AHRI certificates in US.
It can do that, but you will have to prove that the models are the same. They will have to be part of the same model, basic model group.
Yeah.
Right. So that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maher, do you have, please?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مهندس ماهر موسى، مهندس استشاري، وهنا ممثل لشركة آل سالم جونسون كنترولز. عندي حقيقة I have a number of questions. One is related to the 52 degrees performance, declared performance. My question here is that usually not all manufacturers are having a proper tool to estimate or to calculate the performance at 52 based on experimental, I can say, methods. Okay, so sometimes it can be done through extrapolation. Sometimes it can be done through a selection software. Sometimes the selection software is close to the 52, but not at 52. So there is some assumptions. There are some assumptions to come up with the numbers. Okay, so in order to make sure that we are on the safe side putting a number, even if it's a self-declaration, we should also understand that some tolerances should be allowed in case any type of verification took place. Okay, so that's I think it should be an acceptable practice that even if I'm going to do a self-declaration that the performance at 52 is that particular number, it should be within a tolerance. Okay, so and a bigger tolerance should be given in this case because it's a calculated results. Okay, I'm saying that because if we, for any future activities that will be taking place based on this information, okay, the database that will generate from these numbers in the system and given by manufacturers should be treated as estimated results and not tested results, even in the future. Okay. My second question is related to the exemptions for projects. Okay. The standard was announced in March. Okay. And it was very clear understood that this standard will be implemented within the next 6 months. Okay. From March Third, until now, I'm sure that maybe hundreds or thousands of projects have been quoted based on the existing products. Okay? So if we are going to be considering March 3rd as the cutoff for quoting for new projects, okay, I think this will generate in the future some complications for some manufacturers. Okay? So maybe if we can just look or relook into the grace period given, maybe today announcement is the first time manufacturers learn that exemptions will be considered from the announcement date. Okay.
What do you mean announcement date?
Sorry?
What do you mean? What do you mean announcement date?
The standard announcement date, March 3rd.
Yeah,
March
fine.
3rd.
That's what we said.
Yeah, but today we learned that projects quoted previous to today, okay, will be treated from will not be accommodated for the exemptions.
No, no.
From March 3rd until today.
The official gazette is starting from March.
Yes.
So after that, you should comply with the standard. There is no excuse. So any purchasing, anything happened from that date till now, it should comply with the standard. So it's not exempted. But we are talking about something before March.
Yeah.
Before the official gazette. Although the standard was approved in last December, but however, the official gazette is the official announcement date, which after that the standard enforce. So before that, it can be treated separately by given legal and technical justification, and it will be studied and treated as individual basis, and we will inform the individual what is the result of each case by case.
Okay. So
Yes.
I think the practice here from manufacturers should be somehow not approving or sending to their customers that any quotation given after March 3rd based on the old products shall not be regarded.
Yeah. After the announcement, any quotation, anything should be on the standard. You
Okay.
cannot say, no, I will give a quotation on something else before. No. The standard being enforced in March, so any quotation, anything after that date should comply 100% with the standard.
Okay.
As not acceptable at all to quote or to get anything not comply with the standard.
Okay,
So,
this is clear.
So this is clear.
Okay, one more point,
Yeah, please.
which is the stock orders. Okay, projects are something, and stock orders are a different.
What do you mean stock? That mean you have something right now?
No,
your,
some of the products that we are dealing with here are ordered to be stocked, to put in the warehouse,
okay.
and sell it as through retail or for small projects. Okay.
Fine. We said there is no market surveillance. There is
Yes.
no market
So
till now.
you will allow.
So your stock is there, no problem.
We can stock it and we can sell it, okay, after the implementation until we finish all the stock. Sorry? Yeah, for sure. That these products have been imported before the enforcement date. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Basil, please.
On November, as my friend or my colleague mentioned in his presentation, we'll visit all local manufacturers and we'll inspect all large AC. And we'll start as well on the border. So I think it's clear the data of enforcement.
So there will be inspection for the manufacturing plus in the board. My question regarding the validity of the certificate. We know the certificate of HRI is around 1 year, and SASO they will give 5 years. So if they visit us, they will check the validity of the HRI certificate, or they will check only the certificate of SASO?
We are integrated with
When I submit and I make
your certificate is given by SASO. HRI, we use it as verification.
Okay.
It's not that mean your HRI certification will be.
My question, if I take 5 years, I need to ensure as a manufacturer that my HRI is still valid?
No, SASO.
Only SASO.
But when we integrate with HRI, if your certification is invalid by any reason, your SASO certification will be invalid as well. Will be cancelled automatically. And if there is any problem between you and HRI, automatically.
Then maybe I will not renew.
No, we are not talking about renew. We are talking about if any product failed within HRI from your family product, automatically your certification by SASO is failed and cancelled.
Okay.
I don't know, James. Can any manufacturer, as Basil said, not to renew his certification, or I don't know about this? Can you elaborate?
I think the important point that you're making is that the verification process occurs when SASO contacts HRI. And we have a system set up to do that, an IT system set up to do that quickly, contacts HRI for verification of your certificate number. Now, if for some reason we cannot verify that because of a communication difficulty between your company and us, then we have to, your company and HRI have to straighten that out. SASO can't do that. That's between us. So what is important is that the certification participants continue to supply HRI with all the proper documentation, all the proper numbers of their models, etc. And we will continue to put that into the SASO HRI system, so when they question that system, the number will be there. So that's how it'll work.
My question, for example, I take 5 years. After 4 years, SASO come to visit my factory, and they check I have the valid SASO certificate. But when they check in HRI, they will find it for expired. Expired. So SASO is enough. Failed something. Now I certified by HRI. I get SASO certificate 5 years. I not renew next year with HRI. SASO visit our factory. They check the stock. They check in the system. They find HRI not valid or expired. But still my certificate of SASO is valid. What will be the action?
It's based on the SASO certificate. Yes, SASO is the reference.
But James, I have a
as
question.
Long, yes.
Excuse me, James. Has it happened before that somebody not renewing their certificate with you? Has it happened before?
It can happen. The equipment can be re-rated. It can be taken off the market. A number of things can happen. So what's important is that the manufacturer be sure to notify HRI if it's taken off the market or re-rated. We would know the re-rating. And so that we know that, and we have the most current certificate number for SASO. So the communication is between SASO and the manufacturer, but the key to the success of the communication is the communication between HRI and its certification participants. So that's going to be a key element of this to keep it current.
James, if in the case that somebody not renewing their certificate with you, is it dropped automatically from your database, or what will happen in that case?
Yeah, if it's not renewed, or if the rating is changed, then if the rating is changed, then it has to be based on a test. We have to test it again if the rating is changed. It has to have a new certificate number. If the equipment simply is dropped, it no longer appears in our certification program, then we pull it. We pull it from the program.
Okay, clear. We need somebody from that side, the right side.
السلام عليكم. رامي النجار, شركة محمد منصور الرماح. We represent Emerson Liebert, close control units. I have a couple of questions. For SASO certification, the testing will be based on specific unit model or it will be based on shipment? And if it is a specific unit model, will require all the 12 digits to be in the SASO certification, or there will be some variable? Because basically in the close control units, we will have a model with fixed digits, and then we will have variables. So how it will be done?
I think the question is not only for the close control, it's quite generic about the definition of the model number itself and the different options that are attached to the designated model. Basically, the rule is you register for a model. So what we don't know from SASO point of view how many digits are used for the definition of the model. If it's 12, 6. If it's 1, I think it's quite fake. But usually you have 6 to 10, 12 digits. So the first one, up to 6 or 8, are really linked to the model itself, including the capacity, the type, the dimension of its exchanger, the type of control, and so on. The rest of it are mostly options, usually, I would say in general, linked to the type of control, the color, the different options that are attached to the very specific each model. So when you register your product, you have to be as more generic as possible. So it means there is no specific rules on the time being in the application to say that we don't have any fixed number of digits for the designation model. So it's up to you to define what is the core information. But if any specific, this should be validated by SASO. It's a pending question still. If there are some pending digits or some optional digits, this should be informed somewhere in the attached files or in the test report, so the test report or the justification of evidence covers, or we will find that the energy efficiency ratio are obtained whatever the type of options are used. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear. Another question. AHRI is the only certificate for close control units. So there are no alternatives. Is there any alternatives or not? Because AHRI is mainly done in US. So in Europe, which we have some products coming from there, we don't have any AHRI certificate.
There are two things. The first one is a reference standard, which is a HRI standards that have been used to qualify or to test the product. And the second one is a HRI certification, which is based on the definition of the basic model group and so on, which is handled by the HRI association. So basically, all the information that you are giving should be based on the testing standards that is attached to the SASO 2874. You can't deviate for this because the testing point, there is no ISO standards that match with, for example, 35 to 70 degrees or 14 degrees, which correspond to the design point of the close control computer rooms, air conditioners for this type of application.
If I could comment on that, thank you for the question. All that you need to do is to certify your products to HRI. The HRI standard is not a North American standard; it's a global standard. It can be used anywhere, and we have many certified products from Europe, from other places. So that would be the recommendation. And after this, if you see me, I'll give you my card, and we can talk more about it.
Just one more question. Spare parts will be part also of the SASO certification?
No, usually the spare parts not part of the standard, because the standard dealing with the standalone product, but the spare parts not. But however, if the spare parts, for example, motors, if we are talking about motors, you should comply with the motor standard issued by SASO. So individual spare parts should comply whatever standard available, whether it's a safety standard or a performance standard or whatever. Clear. This guy, please.
Yes, Turkish Standard Institution. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Turkish Standard Institution. We have got the same problem in Turkey. Somewhat large producer of ACs, they are complaining about, they are doing tests on, and they are according the EN standard, because European standard always. And when they send the report, on the other hand, they want from them to accord to ASTM. That make the test report duplication, and this is the problem in Turkey. Is there any solution for this situation?
If you want to import your product to Saudi Arabia, you should comply with SASO standard. And in SASO standard, we have two standards actually to be followed, either ISO standard or HRI standard, depending on the product type and the category. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you.
Please.
This is Syed Abid from Carrier. Actually, we also have a question for air-cooled chillers. Now, air-cooled chillers, we have first 5 or 6 digits which are common, and then we have different sizes for that product family. So it is basically the same type of chiller, but comes with different tonnage. And then we have different options available, like copper coil, copper aluminum coil, condenser. So there are total 14 digits, but last 4 to 6 digits changes according to the options available for that product. So if we apply for SASO and we go for complete model nomenclature, so there will be thousands of combinations and it will be very difficult. So for this type of product, normally in US, when they are HRI certified, we bring from US factory. So they certify the selection software version also. So that software version include different factory options which are incorporated in the selection. So they accept it. That complete model number with different options is HRI certified. So how to handle this and bring some simplicity in registration process?
I think it's almost the same question of the same type of answers that we have for the close control. It's how to deal with the extension of the options that are used as really option and not as core information to check the performance of the product. So basically, this should be, you should register under the core information. It means if it's 6 or 8 digits, leave the 4 last digit blanks, but leave the information into the technical report. So, and we will adopt maybe the SASO COC according to this. But we need to have this kind of information, how many digits are left for the option, and are this really option?
You see, the problem is that when at customs, our complete model number will not exactly match with the SASO model number, for example. So what we suggest, if we submit any particular model and we give a nomenclature of our product for different digits, what options they mean. So maybe they can be related at customs and it can be cleared at port, there will be no issues.
I think at customs, it's not only the only document you will have to provide. You will have to provide, of course, a COC that is linked to the energy efficiency of product, but also other documents that are linked to the safety and which are usually provided by third-party providers, specialists like TÜV, SGS, and so on. So it's up to you to have a consistency between the documents that are provided, and maybe we will have to check this. This should be handled by the company that makes that leaves the information for the safety requirements and so on. So this is a possibility, but it's
okay.
Hi, this is Omer Farouk from Johnson Controls. My questions are related to chillers, especially those who are compliant with AHRI 550-590. We have a product range. As per the scope of AHRI 550-590, the testing temperatures on air-cooled chillers is up to 51.7 degrees Celsius. Whereas in SASO, we are asking for 52 degrees Celsius. So my question is, if we have an AHRI certified product, can we submit the ratings from our AHRI certified software at 51.7, and that can be used up for the, because 52 degrees is not out of scope of AHRI, and our rating programs do not give that capacity rating at 52. So can we submit 51.7 as a substitute for 52? And this is my first question, and there is another question related to special projects where there are certain chillers, especially in large tonnage, 2,500 tons and above, which are for special applications like air-cooled radiators as well as for ice making. These machines do not, there is no AHRI standard which governs those, because the temperatures on the condenser side are higher than the limit scope of AHRI. So is there any special exemption for these products which are used, for example, for radiator cooling and for ice making? Thank you.
So the first part I understood, the second part I didn't. So for the test at 51 and 52, for me it's equivalent. It's not equal, but it's equivalent. Just remind that in the test procedure you have 1K or 2K tolerance on the temperature when you are doing the test in real conditions. So it means 51 and 51.1 and 52. The result shall be considered as the same. The values, but it's for any of you, are just informative. Just mind that the SIP program is encompassing the energy saving at the kingdom levels, and we have to, we are constructing a database for this. We are, you see, this largest is a significant part, 30% of the building energy breakdown of the building sectors. The point at 52 will be used, for example, to identify what will be the peak demand for the cooling when the temperature are reaching 52, but it's informative for us. The other point at 46 degrees, you see there are no maps, but this will be maybe the future when we will go to the seasonal performance of the product, which will include the 46 degree. You see, for example, today we will reach around 43, which is quite far or closer than 46 and 35, and the savings we are registering at the kingdom levels are mostly likely to be used at 46 degree. So this is just an apartheid for this. For the second one, could you repeat the question, because I really didn't understand it.
Yes.
For the, maybe for the chillers, maybe the past 3C have been created for the chillers. Basically, the chillers are mostly using parallel configurations with a set of different compressors, a set of different installations for the heat exchanger, for the condensing and the evaporator, which are based on single units, which are then separated in parallel. So for the past 3C, the reference model could be the unique or the unitary model with only one compressor and one heat exchanger. Then you have to provide, if you have 6 units or 12 units, the informations or the calculation methods that have been used in order to check that the performance of mostly the heat exchanger that are used for the total of the compressor have been designed in a correct way and encompass the maps, the minimum maps, or reach the maps that we are providing for this kind of product.
Yeah, actually, the question which I have is especially for applications where we have centrifugal chillers, which have 2 compressors working in series, so that we can have high head applications for air-cooled centrifugal applications. So
this type of product maybe will be exempted.
This type of product.
So you at the very beginning, you have a list of the six type of product. Then you have the products that correspond to the small ACs or the SASO 2663. If you click this one, you will be redirected into the good application. Then you have others. So this really corresponds to others. But you have to put justification, for example, the technical notes or the order, for example, that have been used to design or to design this kind of product.
Okay.
For me, this very specific applications, it's out of the scope of this document. Basically, this have been built for the building sector, so it means for thermal comfort for building occupancy. It corresponds to the design point. Close control computer has been an addition to this because it's a significant type of computers. Part of the chillers and part of the products that are used in industry, for example, in the food industry, also could be part of this standard. But the rest of it, for example, the example you gave, are clearly out of the scope and should be mentioned as other. But you need to put some justification that they will really not be used for a purpose that is correspond to the scope of this standard.
So in case we are getting one of these units into Saudi Arabia, do we need to get a certificate of exemption from SASO to cross it through the customs and the border?
The process will be the following. When you go to others, then you will directly redacted to the attachment and you will attach some information, justification. It will be recorded by SASO. And SASO will, I think they will send you a notification letter or some kind of statement that this product could enter into the Saudi market. But mostly, I think, experience from the electric motors is about a notification letter.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, please.
السلام عليكم. محمد الخوالدي من الزعم المكيفات. I have 5 questions.
We should limit 1 question per manufacturer.
I think it's very simple questions. First question regarding the fees. Now the fees, it's mentioned in the presentation, application fee 500 riyal for the application, and processing and verification 5,000 riyal, and 500 riyal per year certificate per year. Is this per model or per series? Because in
Bear certification.
يعني per model.
Bear certification, whatever. If your certification, bear certification.
No. Now, for example, for let's take an example, a chiller, air-cooled chiller. You have like 20 models in the catalog. You certified the catalog or you certified the 20 models? And if you certify the 20 models, how much you pay? Per model or per series?
Are you AHRI certified or not?
It's AHRI certified, yes.
I think bear certification. Bear certification. Whatever your certification, is it AHRI, is it individual, bear certification. We are talking about certification.
And processing and verification will be bear certification or bear group of application?
No. Bear certification, bear applicant. If you apply as AHRI certified, whatever family product, we are talking about certification and application, bear application. The process, bear application.
I think this will be very costly for the manufacturer, very, very costly. If you take, for example, 500 riyal per model, and
not
5,000...
bear model, my friend, bear certification.
AHRI certification is per model.
No, you are family product, not.
Now, if you need to certify an AHRI, you have certificate for each model.
No, James, I think family product, not bear model. Your certification. Basic model group.
So we're certified BMGs. Okay, James? BMGs will certify. BMGs.
Yes.
Okay, it's fine. This is fair. Okay, it's excellent. Now, second question regarding the exemption. When we can submit our exemption request for the projects and for the products. We have two sides of exemptions, project-based.
What do you mean product?
Product like the cases that our colleague mentioned here, outside of the scope of the standard.
Okay, submit it to the system and they will
yes, when we
study.
can start submission.
The system ready now.
We can immediately start.
Yeah.
How about the
by Sunday you can enter to the system, you register your product, and case by case you will be treated.
Okay. The projects, the same. No, projects, how we will, in the registration, it's not appearing as bare projects.
No. When you submit your product, and this product apply for certain project, you should submit your data, for example, project contract, purchase order, whatever data, then this will be studied in legal way and technical way, and your also technical sheet or whatever, all of that data should be submitted, the bill of material, all of that, whatever applicable data, you should submit that, all of this data, and then it will be studied, then return back to you. Is it acceptable, not acceptable, whatever?
Okay. The last question is that the visit that you are going to conduct in November, it will be by SASO or Ministry of Commerce? Or both?
For manufacturing facility?
Yes.
By the team.
Okay.
As being done in small AC.
Okay.
Same team.
Okay. The last question is about the minutes of meeting. Maybe there was a 15 question asked today and clarified by the committee here. Who will share this with the team?
There is no minutes of meeting.
How we will take this as a guideline for the answers that you provided to us? There was a question and answer, and some answer gave us a guideline.
As Mr. Hani said, this will be, the whole workshop will be on YouTube. So it will be recorded. It is recorded already.
Okay.
So you can
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
ماهر خلاص. One time, one chance. بعدين أنت part of the team ماهر.
Hello. السلام عليكم. اسمي عماد الإبراهيم. I'm from Hayes. We are a national factory and a local brand. To be honest.
You are العيسى صح?
Yeah, ACs. To be honest, we feel. No, not Hayes, not العيسى. Hayes, to be honest, we feel that we are trapped as we have to comply for too many regulations as a local manufacturer. I have sent this question per
But
email.
1 minute. What do you mean by too many regulations?
For all components that I'm importing to the kingdom, I have to comply to SASO. And now, for my final product, I have to comply for SASO as well. So, this is...
No, but I think for motors, for example, if it is entered for manufacturing process, I think some exemptions, right, Bruno?
That
for motors came to the manufacturer for manufacturer process, not for as a spare parts. Is exempted from motors. Yes? No, not 15 years. I'm talking about. So motors exempted if it is came to for manufacturer process. Your motors is exempted from motor standard.
Okay, this is exempted by whom?
It's not double trapped. It is only one standard applicable.
Who can give us this exemption as we don't have it, and we have
SASO.
for compressors, for blowers, for fans, electrical components.
Okay. You got the exempted from the Ministry of Industry. You go there, you submit your list. That my list is.
This is for duty, custom duties.
No, not only custom duty. Also, when you submit, for example, I use those motors for manufacture process for AC. This list should be exempted from SASO requirement for motors, for example.
Only
also.
For motors. What about compressors? What about electrical
compressors,
parts?
there is no requirement for compressors.
How we were manufacturing chillers, we are manufacturing package
My
units.
friend, there is no requirement for compressors by efficiency. There is no efficiency requirement.
It's required. They will stop it at customs, not
There is
by
no efficiency requirement, my friend. Maybe safety requirement or others, but there is no efficiency requirement. Only efficiency requirement for motors only.
Okay, the second question is that as all of this session is like supported or sponsored by HRI, why we don't get a facility here in partnership with SASO?
It's not sponsored and supported. It is cooperation with HRI.
And
up to them, James, if you...
Yes, it can be very confusing. HRI is not sponsoring any of this. We are simply cooperating with SASO because we represent so many manufacturers and because many manufacturers who are not even members are members of our certification program. So this is a cooperative effort. There's no sponsorship.
No, but he talked about why you don't have any facility in Saudi Arabia to test their product. This is what he talked about.
Well, that's a very good question. Let me make point number one, and this is very important. AHRI does not own any laboratories. We contract all of our testing to other independent laboratories. And so, although we know that it would be better to have a laboratory that tests for HRI certification in this region, the independent laboratories have not made that decision, although we have urged them to do that. I think it is frankly very important to do. And we are looking at other alternatives, but right now I do not have a solution for you.
Okay, as a follow-up for that, we are planning to have a laboratory here. So what's the chances for us to get it certified or because we want to avoid sending our units abroad to get it certified or something?
Well, that's always an issue, the cost of sending the equipment somewhere else. There's no question. Now, you will have to excuse me. Is your company, are you a manufacturer or a testing laboratory?
No, we are a manufacturer,
You're a
local manufacturer.
Right. It is very difficult to, in the history of our program, it has been very difficult to for AHRI to approve a laboratory that is a manufacturer's laboratory. There have been some exceptions to that, but the reason is very simple. In those cases where we have agreed to do that, for example, we do it in chillers to some extent, other manufacturers don't want to send their equipment there. I mean, it's a market reality. And we're struggling with how to deal with that. I would be very happy to talk with you about this after the session, but you have to know that it has proved to be very difficult simply because the high level of competition among all of the manufacturers, which is a good thing, they prefer independent laboratories, typically.
I think if your lab is totally independent from your company, I think can be accepted by HRI and also can be accepted by SASO, because there is SASO requirement for lab to be independent, to be ILAC certified, and so on.
If I could add one point, HRI is not cautious because it is suspicious. It is not suspicious. It has to do with the perception of integrity. That's the point, and that's a qualitative issue.
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
But let's talk after this,
Yeah,
please.
sure,
Thank
definitely.
you. Last two questions.
Assalamu
Shale,
alaikum.
you already
This is Muhammad Salim from Johnson Controls. I have two questions.
Your voice, please.
This is Muhammad Salim from Johnson Controls. I have a couple of questions. Number one, during your visit to our factory, you will find that some products we are manufacturing for other countries like Kuwait, Qatar, sometimes in 50 hertz as well in 60 hertz. So are you going to take this in consideration that these units will not be complying to SASO?
The units manufacturer for importing outside Saudi Arabia, there will be a special procedure for that, and will be announced soon, inshallah, those procedure and how we verify those products and so on. Yani we are working on that issue.
Okay. Second question.
Yeah,
again, it's about, it will be only on bus B, 3B. Now if I have some testing reports, which has ASTM standard, which has, I remember, on code 8067, for example, Fahrenheit. Now for ISO, it's 80.6, 66.2. So shall I go for bus B or bus C and give evidence that it will pass the minimum energy efficiency required?
I think you should comply with the standards. The standard have two, in the standard we have two approved reference standards, ISO and HRI only. STM, other standard not approved, and you cannot test on that. So I think you should retest your equipment either by ISO or by HRI, depending on the category.
And I cannot go for bus C as self-declaration?
Yeah,
if I give evidence from software?
If it is individual report for individual product, you go by 3B, right? Yeah, even if it is HRI, it will be 3B. Pass 3B, you go and submit your report. But your report should be tested either on ISO condition or ISO standard or an HRI standard. You cannot test another standard like SCM. You cannot test.
Even without support from software or something?
No, you cannot test. You should follow the standard. The standard, either you test by ISO, if it is applicable, or by HRI, whatever applicable.
Okay, thank you.
Only. The last question by Hussam. The last question. Sorry for that.
السلام عليكم.
خلاص before the last.
المهندس حسام أحمد مصنع الجفالي كارير. I just have one question for project that will be supplied from the local manufacturers. If we close any deal before the announcement date on March, okay, and the supply for the products will be in Q4 or Q1 next year, what is the exemption for that? If you say in November you will visit the factories and you will find some product not comply based, it will be supplied for projects already agreed.
Hussam, as we said, if you have a project before the announcement date, you should submit your evidence, your legal evidence, your technical evidence that the project is already contracted or purchased before that date. And this evidence will be studied by SASO and treated from legal and technical aspects, and we will return back to you. So if it is approved, for example, by SASO that, yes, your evidence is correct, then when they visit your manufacturer, you will show that I get exempted or whatever from SASO, or a letter or whatever, that, yes, this project, this certain type of product with serial number, this already before the announcement date.
So it has to be treated case by case?
Yes, case by case, yes.
Okay,
no general treatment. If you have anything, you should submit, get approved by SASO, then it will be showing that evidence or that exemption or letter from SASO to the team visiting your facility.
Okay, just a small question.
Yes.
You said for the test report it's valid for 5 years. Okay. So if I already made a test, like let's say 6 months back, and it's complying with the new standard, can I use this one in the registration or not?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
That's a question from this side.
Assalamu alaikum. Yusuf Ruzi, representative of Fujitsu General Japan. We have some questions about the VRF, actually. We need some clarifications as we're going to use the path 3B. We're going to use the ISO certification. We need to know about the module. As you know, VRF, you can connect like up to 3 or 4 outdoor units together. For the testing, will it be only for single outdoor units, or you also also require testing for multiple outdoor units?
Yes, so registration should be per outdoor unit.
Only single outdoor units? I mean, the VRF system can be combinations of multiple.
Yes, if you combine this, it's up to the designer or to the architect, to the designer of the solution to do this. But the product as itself is one other unit, attached or not attached together, with specific controls. But we are not entering into the definition of the system itself.
Okay.
So each outdoor unit will be registered separately. If you have not the same capacity or not the same designation, you should have to do this for the free outdoor unit.
What about its related indoor units? I mean that you know that the system for VRF is in outdoor and it's related indoors.
So you see in the designation of the product, you identify your outdoor unit, then you could attach to this indoor unit any number of indoor units you would like to have. And this will be reported in the certificate at the end.
Okay.
Okay, thank you everybody for attending this workshop, and inshallah have a fruitful registration process. Thank you very much.
May I ask COC representative to stay here for a couple of minutes to have a quick meeting with them? Thank you.
ختاما، تتقدم الهيئة السعودية للمواصفات والمقاييس والجودة والمركز السعودي لكفاءة الطاقة بخالص الشكر والتقدير لحضوركم وتفاعلكم، آملين أن نلتقيكم بإذن الله في مناسبات قادمة، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you. COC representative, please.